Imagine you're summoned before a court, not of law, but of reason. The judge looks you in the eye and demands, "Prove the existence of God." But there's a catch. You're forbidden from invoking faith. What do you say? In the 1200s, a monk accepted that very challenge, not with scripture, not with miracles, but with pure intellect. His name was Thomas Aquinas, and he offered not one, but 5 rational pathways toward God. But in the age of quantum physics and AI, do his arguments still hold weight? Or are they relics of medieval thought? Let's step into the quiet mind of a thinker who saw logic not as the enemy of faith, but its greatest ally. Born into nobility in 12 to 25 Italy, Thomas was a boy of silence and inner storms. His classmates mocked him as the dumb ox, mistaking his quietude for ignorance. But beneath that silence, a storm of brilliance brewed, one that would one day shake the very foundations of philosophy and theology. His family had plans for him: status, power, the cloisters of Benedictine tradition. But Thomas chose a different road: the Dominican order. His family, outraged, kidnapped him, literally, held him captive for over a year. Yet even in chains, he studied. When he finally broke free, he dove even deeper into his calling. Under the guidance of the great Albertus Magnus, he immersed himself in the fusion of Aristotle and Christian doctrine. Where others saw a battle between faith and reason, Thomas saw harmony. To him, logic was not a threat, it was a bridge to the divine. His life's work, Summa Theologica, is a symphony of intellect and spirituality. He explored the nature of God, the soul, the cosmos, all by asking one powerful question after another. But tucked within this massive opus are 5 concise arguments, known as the 5 ways, for the existence of God. Let's explore them. The first way, the unmoved mover. Imagine a still lake. A stone hits the surface. Ripples spread. But the stone didn't fall by itself. Something acted first. Thomas expanded this to everything. Trees sway, galaxies spin, rivers flow. Nothing moves on its own. Everything is moved by something else. But this chain can't go back forever. Somewhere, something must have moved first, without being moved itself. That something, Aquinas argued, must lie outside the realm of physical things. It must be immaterial, eternal, and independent. He called this first mover God. Even modern physics, with its Big Bang models, still can't answer the riddle. What moved the first atom? The second way, the first cause. Just picture smoke rising into the sky. We know there's fire. A broken window? There must have been impact. Cause and effect, they form the rhythm of the universe. Aquinas asked, can this web of causes stretch back infinitely? No. Like a row of dominoes, there must be one that fell first. Some say the universe emerged from quantum vacuums or eternal matter, but even a vacuum is something, and something can't be its own cause. So Thomas introduced the first cause, an uncaused cause that began everything. Not as a myth, but as a logical necessity. That cause, he believed, was God. The third way, the necessary being look around. Everything you see, plants, stars, people, is temporary. It exists now, but not forever. It depends on countless conditions: time, matter, energy. Thomas saw this as evidence that most of reality is contingent. But if everything is contingent, what kept it all from vanishing into non-existence? He reasoned that something must exist necessarily, something that doesn't depend on anything else to be, a reality that must exist by its very nature. This necessary being doesn't change, doesn't decay, and isn't limited. It is the anchor of all being. That being, Thomas concluded, is God. The fourth way, degrees of perfection. Consider beauty. Some things are more beautiful than others. Some acts more virtuous, some minds more brilliant, but none are perfect. So, how do we recognize more or less of a quality unless there's a maximum to compare it to? Aquinas argued that varying degrees of perfection point to a supreme perfection, a being that embodies goodness, truth, and beauty in their purest, fullest form. Not abstract, not imaginary, but real. To him, this perfect being wasn't just a standard, it was the source, and that source was God. The fifth way, intelligent design. You find a watch in the woods. You wouldn't assume it appeared randomly. You'd see the gears, the precision, and know someone made this. Now look at the cosmos: gravity, DNA, the orbit of moons, migration of birds. Nature follows intricate laws, but these natural elements have no minds of their own. A flower doesn't choose to follow sunlight, and yet it does. Aquinas believed this purposeful order pointed to a rational guide, an intelligence behind the laws. Like an archer guiding an arrow, something directs the cosmos. And that directing intelligence? God. Centuries have passed, but the questions Thomas asked still pulse through science and philosophy. Physics can tell us how, but not why. Cosmology can describe beginnings, but not origins. Evolution can show adaptation, but not the birth of intelligence itself. With his 5 ways, Thomas Aquinas reminds us, to think deeply is not to oppose faith, it is to walk alongside it. God, to him, was not just a matter of belief, but the inevitable answer to the deepest questions of logic. So whether you're a believer or a skeptic, his invitation remains the same. Ask boldly. Think rigorously. Seek truth. Because in that search, perhaps, you'll encounter something more.